Today, a 2016 review of FDA drug approvals, a halt on multiple trials in acute myeloid leukemia, an FDA approval for a breast reconstruction device, a complete response letter issued for a neuroendocrine tumor treatment, a priority review in breast cancer, a breakthrough therapy designation for non-Hodgkin lymphoma, and disappointing findings for a drug in breast cancer. Welcome to Enclave News Network. I'm Gina Columbus. The FDA closed its worst year for new drug approvals in quite some time. In 2016, just 22 new agents were approved, not including new indications. This is contrasted with 45 approvals in 2015, 41 in 2014, 27 in 2013, 39 in 2012, 30 in 2011, and 21 in 2010. The FDA did explain that the decline was due to several drugs being approved in 2015 that had 2016 action dates, more complete response letters being issued, and fewer overall applications. On a positive note, the median overall time from submission to approval was approximately 7.8 months in 2016. This is down from 10.9 months in 2015. In 2017, expected FDA decisions include taletrectinib epitrate for carcinoid syndrome, nivolumab for bladder cancer, pembrolizumab for MSI-high cancer, ribociclib for breast cancer, and many more. In acute myeloid leukemia, the FDA has placed clinical holds on several phase 1 trials of vadastuximab talerin due to 4 patient deaths. These patients were treated with the agent along with allogeneic stem cell transplant either prior to or following treatment. The FDA specifically wants to assess the risk of hepatotoxicity, since the 4 patients who died had veno-occlusive disease. 2 other patients also had hepatotoxicity. Specifically, a full clinical hold has been placed on a phase 1-2 study of vadastuximab talerin in patients with AML, both pre- and post-ASCT. There were 2 other phase 1 trials that received partial clinical holdings, meaning further enrollment is halted, but enrolled patients who consent can continue therapy. Enrollment continues in other ongoing trials, including the phase 3 Cascade study in older patients with AML and a phase 1-2 trial of patients with myelodysplastic syndrome. For patients with breast cancer, the FDA has approved the balloon-like wireless tissue expander Aeroform. The device is specifically for patients who choose to have reconstructive surgery following a mastectomy or for those with underdeveloped breasts and soft tissue deformities. The agency approved the system under the de novo pre-market review pathway, which is intended for novel, low to moderate risk devices for patients who do not have other approved options. The decision was based on results from the EXPAND trial, which included 99 patients using the Aeroform expander and 52 patients using a saline expander. Findings showed that 96.1% of the patients using Aeroform expanders and 98.8% of the patients using saline expanders could have their breast tissue expanded and exchanged to a breast implant. Moreover, the overall time needed for tissue expansion was lower with Aeroform. The FDA has issued a complete response letter to Advanced Accelerator Applications to inform the company that its new drug application for Lutathera was not approved as a treatment for patients with gastroenteropancreatic neuroendocrine tumors and would need to be resubmitted. The letter, which follows a discipline review letter issued in November, requests new subgroup data, a safety update, and that revisions be made to the previously submitted data. The CRL did not request the initiation of additional studies of Lutathera. However, the FDA did note that changes were required to the manufacturing process for Lutathera and that it would not approve the application until these updates were completed. Advanced Accelerator Applications did not provide an update on its progress toward meeting these stipulations. However, the company did note that it had started the revision process in November 2016 when it received the DRL. In breast cancer, the FDA granted a priority review designation to a supplemental new drug application supporting the conversion of the accelerated approval of palbociclib to a full approval. The indication would be for use in combination with letrozole as a frontline treatment for postmenopausal women with ER-positive, HER2-negative disease. The application for palbociclib is based on the phase 3 Paloma-2 trial, which demonstrated that the addition of palbociclib to letrozole reduced the risk of progression by 42% versus letrozole alone. Additionally, the median progression-free survival was improved by more than 10 months with the addition of palbociclib. The FDA is scheduled to make its final decision by April 2017. A breakthrough therapy designation has been given to the CAR T-cell therapy JCAR017 for the treatment of patients with relapsed refractory aggressive B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma. The designation is specific to patients with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, primary mediastinal B-cell lymphoma, grade 3B follicular lymphoma, or de novo disease or transformed indolent lymphoma. In results of the Phase 1 TRANSCEND study, JCAR017 demonstrated a 60% complete response rate in patients with relapsed or refractory CD19-positive NHL. Additionally, complete responses were seen in patients with double and triple-hit lymphoma and for one patient with CNS disease. 42% of assessable patients remained in response after 3 months of follow-up. The European Medicines Agency's Committee for Medicinal Products for Human Use and Committee for Advanced Therapies also granted JCAR017 access to the primary medicine schemes for relapsed refractory DLBCL. Finally, in breast cancer, the Phase 2 Hermione trial was halted after the antibody-drug conjugate MM302 plus trastuzumab failed to improve progression-free survival compared with chemotherapy plus trastuzumab in patients with HER2-positive metastatic disease. These were patients who had previously received trastuzumab, pertuzumab, and ado-trastuzumab emtansine. Through a futility analysis, an independent monitoring panel confirmed that the primary endpoint of progression-free survival would not be met. There were no new safety signals with the treatment, and enrolled patients were permitted to continue their assigned therapy. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Enclave News Network. I'm Gina Columbus.